not so much a tip, but pretty soon I'm planning on doing some A/B testing for what's better between having your buyer's guide first compared to last on the site to see whether people click over more to Amazon or trust your site a little bit more if you have the information first or if you just have your products first. So I'm gearing up to do that. That should be an interesting little study.
Yeah. So how do you have it set up now?
So right now, it's my product reviews are first, and then the buyer's guide is second. But I'm leaning towards just changing it up just to see what happens, and then doing an A/B test to really see what the results are.
Okay. Yep. And I've seen it done both ways. I've never actually done a test, but I definitely, it feels like that could be a good approach to have the helpful information first, like you said, to sort of build trust. And then by the time the person gets to the product, they're like, oh, I kind of get it. And I trust the site. I'm educated about like making a selection here. So totally
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yep. And then another thing is I'm a really true believer of tables, having really good tables on your site. I've seen my conversion rating for my tables is at about 10 or 11% compared to links, which is only at like 3%. So tables is definitely huge. And I was watching your interview with Kirk Phillips, and what he said about tables is 100% true. If they're clicking on your table, they're more likely to buy than if they're clicking through a link.
Cool. Do you have any like tips on how you set up your tables?
So I have a developed tables, like a developer developed a special table, so it's not like a generic plugin or anything like that. And just having like really good features of the product that it's more of a benefit, like turning a feature into a benefit is pretty much what I do on the tables.
Okay. And what was it like hiring a developer to work on the table, and how do you actually like insert a table into like your WordPress post?
So it uses short code. It's actually done through AAWP. So
Okay,
it still is run through a plugin, but it's just the CSS was changed on there
gotcha.
to make it more friendly, user friendly.
Okay, so basically you got a developer to change the formatting for the like specific table the AAWP normally uses by default, and like you're laying a CSS layer on top of it to format it exactly how you want it to behave, right?
Hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
And then you're using the normal shortcodes for AAWP.
Yep.
Perfect. And yeah, so what was it like hiring a developer to do it? How did you end up finding that person and communicating with them exactly what you wanted to do?
So I just used a table that I had seen on another website, and they were able to basically just replicate it. Replicate it. That's all. It's pretty simple.
Okay. How long did it take? What did it cost you?
It was a couple months, and it cost like 300-400 bucks.
Okay. It took him a couple months to,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like, usually if you have an existing table, for example, or element, whatever it may be, you usually can just go look in like Chrome or any browser to see what the code is, see the actual CSS, and then you just like slam it into whatever you're using. So I'm surprised it took that long, basically.
Yeah.
Do you have
Well,
any?
sometimes you get what you pay for, I guess. I
Oh,
don't know. Just
yeah. Well, and I'm no coder, so I've played around a little bit with CSS, and yeah, so maybe I'm completely uninformed, and people can send me an angry email and let me know that it's way harder than that. But I think it's
yeah.
like
I,
straightforward.
I try to play around with CSS too. I don't get too deep into it because, with CSS and everything, you don't want to like mess up my website. But
Yep.
I've changed a few font colors here and there and just some cosmetic stuff. But
Yeah. Cool.
but yeah, tables is the way to go, definitely.
So, any other overall tips on like I said, link building? You got keyword research, content, anything you've learned?
Just competition analysis with keywords. Like I think keywords is probably the biggest thing. Like that's what's going to make or break your website. So if if you do anything right, it would be keyword research because if you don't, then you're going to be stuck for a long time. If you're trying to go after a big fish before you can catch the small fish, then it's going to be a problem. So definitely understanding the SERPs and how they work and what keywords are smart to go after when and that sort of thing. You know, not trying to go after a keyword that's dominated by domain ratings that are like 80s and 90s because you're not gonna get on page one. But if you can find that a few domain ratings that are in the 30s or 20s, those are the ones that you want to go after because you can compete there or even lower. So